Welcome to the 5 best restaurants in Hollywood. This is Hollywood, California, not Florida. So if the algorithm brought you here, I don't know how, but this is Hollywood, California. First up is Yamashiro. This is a Japanese restaurant that is like up at the top of the Hollywood Hills, overlooking the whole city. It looks like a temple, like it's really nice. We went on a very kind of like cold and rainy day. It was like January, February kind of time. So it was a really just kind of nice time for like cozy Japanese food. So I definitely recommend starting with some hot green tea. And then as an appetizer, we had the pork bao buns, which are so good. Like just the texture of the buns are just so satisfying to me. I absolutely love them. And also because they had like the veggies in it and the sauce was really light, it like brightened up and lightened up something that would generally be very quite heavy and dense. If you love sushi, they have literally everything. So so this is definitely for you if you like sushi. I only like the super generic kind of stuff, so we kind of went a different direction with our menu. The steak garlic noodles, I absolutely love garlic noodles. When JP and I went to Maui for our anniversary one year, we got garlic noodles everywhere. And I was like, how have I never had this in my life? So now every time I see garlic noodles, I get them. And to have the steak in them was just fantastic. The crab fried rice was also really good. The miso creamed corn, it was a little bit spicier than I kind of like, but I absolutely love creamed corn. Um, so, um, so I, had to get it. So for dessert, we got these banana donuts that come with like this chocolate dipping sauce. We were pretty full from all the different things that we had shared, so we took most of these home. They reheated in the air fryer pretty well. We also got this sticky toffee cake. It was denser than I thought it was going to be. It was more like a like brownie kind of texture. But like the walnuts and the toffee sauce was like a really good like combo. And then having like the like cream stuff on top kind of brightened it up as well. And we were celebrating, I wonder if it was JP's birthday, because so his birthday's the end of January, our anniversary is beginning of February. So it was one of those two things. And I wonder if it was our anniversary, because they brought us a glass of champagne and a small cheesecake, which is great. Like, it's nice. It's really the thought that counts, but I actually don't drink champagne because I don't like bubbly drinks. And I also don't eat cheesecake because the density of like the dairy and cream in it like really makes me dry heave. And yeah, so so it was more so a treat that JP got to enjoy, but it was a nice thought. This was the view, kind of walking out of the restaurant. Okay, the next place I recommend is the Formosa Cafe. This is more like West Hollywood, but I decided to group all those together into one. This one's been around since the 30s, and they have this old dining car that you can sit in. And this place also has photos all over of all the different celebrities that have been there over the last like practically 100 years. So it's like old photos. But they have really good soup dumplings, which are here. And this is their chow mein, and then this is the dining car that you can dine in, and you can see up here some of like the photos. They're all black and white. The chow mein's a little bit spicy, again spicier than I like, but it's not too much that I can't eat it. They also have a good little like build your own lunchbox type of thing where you can choose like 5 or 6 things. I really need to look up that photo and add it because we went here like 3 times in one year because we were doing a lot of movie studio tours and TV show tapings. So we were kind of in like the general vicinity. So that's why we ended up going here. But like I absolutely love this place. Like this is the kind of food that I will like get cravings for even still. Next is Chris and Eddie's. This is a little fast food place. JP and I were actually invited for their like soft grand opening. They were bringing in a bunch of like food bloggers and vloggers and stuff to promote it. They do like smash burgers, waffle fries, tater tots. They're meant to be a very like Instagrammy type of place. Like if you like hold the burgers up this way, you can just see all like the grease and the cheese and all of that kind of stuff. They're delicious and affordable, which is really great. It's on Sunset Boulevard, so it's very conveniently located if you're doing like sightseeing kind of stuff. So yeah, this is a good little spot. Another place that's nice and convenient for just like when if you're out sightseeing is Pizza Works. It's on the main strip of Hollywood Boulevard. So if you're going to like the Chinese Theater, Walk of Fame, that kind of stuff, this is what the pizza looks like. It's an easy like quick bite that you can like, like share with your group or something as you're like walking around, like looking at the stars and, it's just something quick and easy like that that we enjoy. Another option, if you have any Gen Zers in your group, they will probably ask you to go to Dobrik's. I had never heard of this place. I also don't know who this guy is because I've never watched YouTube for like entertainment. It's more so if I'm searching something particular. So I'm kind of aged out of it, but my sister visited for the Eras tour. And she decided to come for the whole week. So we had a lot of sightseeing time. And this was a place that she had on her list to go. So I was like, okay, I guess. And of course, like with JP and I going, she's 8 years younger than me. So it makes sense for her. But I was like, we're going to feel so dumb going to this place and it being like all these like 20-year-old, like, posting it to TikTok or Snapchat or something. It was very popular. It was quite busy. But just like there's a place in Westwood called La Monica's Pizza. It's just like that where you can get the Sicilian style, which is like these square cuts that are a little thicker, or you can get like the thinner, longer New York style pizza. It is very good pizza. So don't let the name or whatever else turn you away. It's a good place. So if your Gen Zers ask you to go, just go. Some fun things to do around Hollywood. Obviously the sightseeing, Walk of Fame, Chinese Theater, the little bus tours that take you around the neighborhoods to tell you where all the different celebrities live. I do have a post on secret spots in LA. Obviously quite a few are around this area. Obviously, if you've never been to Universal Hollywood, I definitely recommend going there. Even if you haven't gone in the last few years, they've had a lot of new stuff and still some new stuff coming. So definitely go there. If you're visiting in the fall, some popular things to do, there's an event called Knights of the Jack in Calabasas. And then at Descanso Gardens, there's an event called Carved. Sometimes they change the name, though, I think, over the years. But in general, Descanso Gardens does an event for the fall. And then in the winter, the LA Zoo does holiday lights. Here's a picture from my post on the secret spots in LA. So this is a place called Hollywood Park that is a really great big open space. It's down all below here. You can't see it in the picture, but it's a really big open space where you can get nice photos with the Hollywood sign in the background without having to like hike up to this area over here, which is like it'll take you a couple hours to go from like Griffith Observatory and hike over there and stuff. Where to stay in Hollywood. So it's not exactly in Hollywood, but about 5 miles down the road. It's not super far. The Beverly Wilshire. It's a Four Seasons hotel. It is the hotel from Pretty Woman, which is the movie with Julia Roberts back in the 90s. We stayed once for New Year's, and it was a really great kind of like bucket list experience to just like stay for one night and experience it. It's right at the base of Rodeo Drive, so you can walk around the shops and the restaurants. It's just all around a cool experience to do. So in addition, one thing I'll add, I didn't include Musso and Frank's in this list. That's at the top of my like Hollywood restaurant bucket list at the moment. But I've never been, so I can't recommend it. However, it is number one on my bucket list, so I would imagine if it made it into a Taylor Swift song and it's been around for 100 years, it is probably worth going to. So I will add that as an honorable mention. It's a like steakhouse fine dining kind of thing, so just keep that in mind. I do have a post, so just down the street, again, like I said, the Beverly Wilshire is about 5 miles down the road. So in that area, I do have a post for the best restaurants in Beverly Hills. And then Westwood is kind of like next door. It's where UCLA is. So I have a list of our favorite restaurants there. And then also just in that same general vicinity, just a couple miles away is the Fairfax district. I have a list of our favorite restaurants from there. That's where like the Farmers Market and the Grove, CBS Television City is all there. And then I also have one for our favorite restaurants in Glendale and Burbank. And then lastly, I also have one for just our favorite restaurants in LA. This is going to list everything that's not in any of these other blog posts. The only thing that might have a crossover is like if I recommended In-N-Out, I also probably recommended it here because if you've never been, you should go at least once. I do also have this free guide on free things to do in LA. You just have to put in your first name and email and it will send it to you. And that is everything I have for our favorite restaurants in Hollywood.